So guys, today back with a video on the channel. Today we're here for my Premier League prediction for the 2020-21 season. I've done this for the last 4 years now, and we'll be looking back at this video in about May time. So yeah, if I've offended your team, if I've said your team's going to get relegated, I'm sorry. It's just my honest prediction. I'm recording this on the Sunday, so it's like 5-6 days away from the Premier League. I wanted to record it now, so I've definitely I'm recording it before the season starts. Obviously, teams can still make transfers during the season. We'll have a look at it. Maybe it's in January during the transfer window, and we'll see where we are with my prediction. But we'll be going from 20th to 1st in the Premier League table. Make sure to leave a like, lads. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's go to my table. We'll start off with 20th. So starting off, 20th position for me will be Fulham. Fulham are the yo-yo club of the Premier League at the minute. They go up, they go down, they come up again, and they're going to go down in my opinion. They scrape the playoffs from an extra time, 2 goals from their left back to scrape it into the Premier League. And can I see them staying up? Absolutely not. I feel like Scott Parker is a decent manager. Well, he hasn't had enough experience, but I feel like he's the right man for Fulham. And of course he is, because he's going to send them down in my opinion. They've got Meat obviously up top, good striker, he can score goals, but does he have the team around him? I personally don't think he does. Fulham for me, 20th. 19th position for me will be Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have been in the Premier League since 2013 and stayed up every single season, so fair play to them, but I feel like their time will be up. A lot of their players are getting older now, and I just don't think they've made the signings. Eze from QPR is a good signing, but he's a young lad, and only playing Championship football, it's a massive risk. He can either perform really, really well or not very, very good. The only position that I like, I feel like Guaite in goal is fantastic, but there's so much you can do as a goalkeeper. They've got an old defence, the midfield's getting quite old. They haven't got an out-and-out striker. Zaha might leave. For me, Crystal Palace are going to get relegated, and I think there will be 19. And the final team to be relegated, for me, it is Aston Villa. Villa haven't really made any major signings. Yeah, they've made a couple. Matty Cash off the top of the head. But for me, the squad isn't there. And I don't think Dean Smith is a good manager. If Dean Smith wasn't from Birmingham and from born and bred an Aston Villa fan, the fans for me last season would have been wanting them out. If that was Steve Bruce in that position, Aston Villa fans would want him out. Because that's what happened when he was at Aston Villa. Wasn't doing well, wanting them out. Dean Smith's done arguably the same amount of job as Steve Bruce at Aston Villa. Obviously got them promoted and kept them up. Steve Bruce didn't do that, but in the Championship, for me, Aston Villa are going to get relegated. Will Jack Grealish leave? I mean, from the first couple of games, it could have a really bad start. Man United or someone coming for a bid, and then Jack Grealish leaves and it all goes tits up. Let's see what happens. For me, Aston Villa will be the final team relegated. Next up, and in 17th, I have put West Bromwich Albion. West Brom got promoted from finishing 2nd in the Championship and had a good season. Obviously, we played them in the quarterfinals. We beat them 3-2, but West Brom have got some good players. Pereira, Diagane, I think he's called. The lad that just signed for West Ham for 80 million on loan last season to them. But for me, they haven't got an out-and-out striker. Charlie Austin, yeah, right. He can get you goals, but will he do it in the Prem for 38 games? I don't think so. I think West Brom need to find a striker ASAP. Take Joe Linton, take him, because we're getting big Callum Wilson, take him. But I think West Brom will just scrape, and I think Slaven Bilic is a good enough manager just to keep them up. For me, West Brom, 17th. Next up, and then 16th, for me, it will be West Ham. West Ham are at a really hard time at the minute, and I actually do think they've got worse owners than us, and that's saying something. That Diagane, I think he was called, the lad who went to West Brom, Mark Noble retweeted the tweet and basically slut shaming the owners. Like, for a captain to do that is unbelievable. If this was Newcastle at the start of the window, would Jamal Lascelles really do something like that? No. No, he wouldn't. That's passion. Martin Noble has been there since day one and he wants the best for his club. I think because of the quality of some of their players, I think they've just got enough to stay up. But I don't think it'll be a good season for West Ham whatsoever. Look at their first 7 games. For the first game against us, they've got a lot of players out through to quarantine and injuries and whatnot. If they don't beat us, they are literally screwed, and it could be a really bad season for West Ham. I've got them in 16th, but they could easily go down. Next up in 15th, I have put Leeds United. 16 years it was until they got promoted back to the Premier League, and they're finally back, and I feel like they will stay up. I don't feel like they've got a great squad, to be honest. Obviously, they made some good signings in Rodrigo, who isn't worth 30 million whatsoever, but he could probably get them 7 goals this season. Other players, they signed that lad from Germany, I can't remember his name. Obviously, Calvin Phillips is a great player. They've got a good system and they've got a good team bond, and that's what you need for these games and for the Premier League. I feel like Leeds will stay up, and obviously the manager, Marcel Bielsa, is fantastic. So I feel like they will stay up, and 15th will probably be a fair enough position for Leeds United. Next up in 14th, it is Brighton and Hove Albion. Every season I predicted Brighton to go down. Every season, right? And I'm pretty sure most fans have. But I feel like this is the season where they can start to build, hopefully for them. Adam Lallana, good signing. Veltman, good signing. Ben White, who was at Leeds, is staying at Brighton. So that's good for them. They've got a goal scorer in Mopé. Trossard's a tricky good player. I feel like it's their midfield that lacks them a little bit. But obviously signing out Adam Lallana, it adds that little bit more quality to their team. For me, I think 14th position for Brighton is a fair enough position. I feel like depends how they play. They can set up the play, attract the football, they attract good players. For me, Brighton will get 13th. Next up in 13th position, for me, it is Burnley. Burnley have got a fantastic manager in Sean Dyche, and he deserves to be at a better club in my opinion. Burnley, obviously, they've got some good players. A really good defence in my opinion, and Ben Mee and James Sałkowski, 2 really good centre-backs. But I feel like they need to add a little bit more to their team. Off the top of my head, I don't know anyone who they've signed, and that could be an issue. Obviously, Burnley always have a good season. To finish for last season getting 10th, and then 2 seasons before I think it was 7th. That's unbelievable for the size of Burnley, for the size of their club. They can't sell at a 22k stadium, and they're in the Premier League, finishing 7th and 10th in the Premier League. It's unbelievable. Fair play to Burnley. If you sign some more players, I feel like 13th will be a comfortable position for you. In 12th position, I've got Sheffield United. Last season, no one thought that they would finish, try and go for Champions League football. They were 5th for most of the season, and then the restart came back. They lost 2 games 3-0 in a row, and they started just to drag down a little bit in it. They finished, I think, 10th, wasn't it? It was a good season for them, fantastic. Everyone had them getting relegated. I think just because what they've done last season, they've got to stay up now. For their club, they've got to stay up. Off the top of my head again, I don't know who they've signed. I don't even know if they have signed anyone, which is an issue for them. They probably have. They signed Ramsdale, but obviously having Dean Henderson, now he's back at Man United, and signed Ramsdale from Bournemouth. I feel like Sheffield United will be satisfied with 12th position. Obviously not as good as last season, but I feel like they'll still be happy to stay up. In 11th position, I've got Southampton. Southampton have a good team. They've got a goal scorer in Danny Ings, and that's what you need in the Premier League. You need a goal scorer, and they've got that in Danny Ings. The one thing why I haven't got them in the top 10 is their defence. I just feel like they haven't got that many good centre-backs, in my opinion. Obviously losing Højbjerg. One of their centre-backs, the Polish lad, I don't think he's really good. Jeff Stevens, I feel like he's not good enough whatsoever. It's the defence that lets them down, in my opinion. But we're having a goal scorer who can score you 20 goals a season in Danny Ings, with Redmond, James Ward-Prowse and Stuart Armstrong with them, and they're obviously going to add more hope. Well, I would think so. Southampton, for me, are going to have a decent season, finishing in 11th position. Next up, and in 10th, I've got my team, Newcastle United. I've got us in 10th simply because the signings that we're making. Callum Wilson is in Newcastle United now, completing a medical when I'm recording this on Sunday night. Ryan Fraser's having a medical on Monday as well. I don't even know, this video will probably be going out when they've been announced, but 2 fantastic signings in what they've done for Bournemouth in the 18-19 season was unbelievable. And if we're getting them in, I feel like if we finish 10th, that'll be probably the best we've probably done, considering what happened with the takeover and not getting any signings in. I feel like 10th position is a really good position for us, and we've got to try and really push on. We can't be in a relegation battle. Our attack next season with Wilson, Fraser, Miggy and St Maximin, that's going to be unplayable. Put us on the best attacks in the top 7. It's like, for me, we're going to finish 10th. In 9th position now, I've got Leicester City. Obviously, last season, Leicester was 2nd for most of the league, and they just crumbled down. They came to 5th position. They wanted to finish Champions League, missed out on the final day. And for me, I feel like they're going to focus on Europa League. I feel like they might get the semi-finals or even the final and really try and win that. And they'll have to not focus on the Premier League as much. And I feel like that's how it's going to drag them down a little bit. If they don't get, they've got to get top 10. And I feel like they will. I feel like they'll focus on the Europa League a bit too much. They might even win the Europa League, but just not have a good Premier League season. And I feel like Leicester fans would say, give me 9th rather than like 5th and make us win the Europa League. I feel like they would happily say, take that. Obviously, sign some players, that left back from Atlanta, the Belgium lad. So he can be a good addition for them. Obviously, losing Ben Chilwell to Chelsea. For me, Leicester, 9th position. Next up in 8th position, I've got Everton. Everton have had a really good summer. Signing James Rodriguez, signing Decore, and signing Allen. Obviously, Allen's the only official one at the minute, which is a really good signing. Him at Napoli, really good player, Champions League football, and now he's back at the Premier for Ancelotti's going to be a key point of the season. Obviously, last season he only had from about in the middle of December all the way to the end of the season. If they had all that to start the season, I feel like Everton could have finished 8th in the Premier League, but they finished 12th last season. For me, Everton have got a good team, good players, apart from the goalkeeper, simple as. I feel like Everton will get 8th position. Next up in 7th position, trying to get European football, is Wolverhampton Wanderers. People forget this about Wolves. They don't have Europa League football next season, so all they can focus on is the Premier League and the cups. They've got nothing else to focus on, and still finishing in the quarterfinals of the Europa League and still getting top 7, with Wolves being only in League 1, well, 5-6 years ago, is unbelievable. Signing a Portuguese striker who's about 18-19 for 40 million. They signed Marcel, the left back from Lyon, just got announced today. I feel like Wolves have only got something to focus on, and that's the Premier League, and they could even overtake whoever's in 6th. Good for Wolves. For me, they finished 7th. Next up and in 6th position, I've got Tottenham Hotspur. And I'm sure everyone knows this, but obviously they've got a documentary out in the minute that shows Tottenham Hotspur with Jose Mourinho and that coming in. I just feel like their team just hasn't really improved, in my opinion. Matt Doherty is a good signing from Wolves, but they need defensive cover, and he's not really a defensive-minded right-back. Obviously, he normally plays in a 5-back in Wolves, and now they're going to be playing a 4-back in Spurs. That could be a bit of an issue. Obviously, Harry Kane. I feel like Harry Kane will get injured again. I don't know why. I feel like Harry Kane will get some sort of injury again. But for me, Spurs will get 6th position. Obviously, they've got Europa League football next season. Let's see what they can do with that. For me, Spurs, 6th position. Next up in 5th position, I've got Arsenal. Arsenal have had a decent run with Mikel Arteta, winning 2 trophies, the Community Shield and the FA Cup. It's going to help them. They've got Europa League football now next season. That could be a little bit of an issue, but I feel like Arsenal have got a good team. Aubameyang, Pepe, Lacazette can be good. The same Danny Cazelos on another loan. But I feel like Arteta can finally get a full season at Arsenal and really show what he's about, and I feel like they can get 5th position. It'll be close between them and whoever's in 4th. It will be tough for them. For me, Arsenal, 5th position. Next up in 4th position, Champions League football. For me, it will be Manchester United. I feel like they've got a slight better team than Arsenal. I prefer Arteta as a manager to Solskjaer, but I just feel like their team is so much better. Their midfield is probably one of the best in the Premier League. Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and now adding Donny van der Beek into their team. It's a great midfield, and the attack as well. Greenwood gets a full season with the club. He gets a full season. Can't focus on the under 23s or anything like that. Obviously, Rashford, Martial. I just feel like they need if they had a Koulibaly and a decent left back, they could be challenging for something this season, but that won't be the case. For me, Manchester United, 4th position. In 3rd position now, it's going to be tough. The top 3, I feel like, will all be fighting for the Premier League, and this will be really, really close. 3rd position, I've got Chelsea. Chelsea have had an unbelievable summer. They're probably one of the best summers in the history of football. Kai Havertz for 71 million. Werner, Ziyech, Thiago Silva, Chilwell, Saw, who's went out back on loan. Honestly, what a summer that's been. And the team that they're going to have with Pulisic, Werner, Ziyech, Havertz, Kovacic, Kante, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, Chilwell and Kepa. That's a great team. And I really feel like Chelsea could challenge for the league. But I feel like they'll just slip up a little bit. Where just the gel of the players might not be able to gel all at once. And that could be a little bit of an issue, but not too much. Chelsea for me, 3rd position, but they'll still have a really good season. And Werner, what a player. Now it is my top 2 positions. Starting off in 2nd in my Premier League prediction. For me, Manchester City will finish 2nd. Man City obviously have had a decent summer so far. Ake, that Torres, losing David Silva's a loss, but obviously Phil Foden's finally getting game time for once. But honestly, Manchester City, Champions League football, they've got it. They need to win it. They have to win it this season. If they don't win the Prem and don't win the Champions League, I think Guardiola will leave. For me, right, they need to win the Champions League, and I feel like that's the only reason why they won't win the Prem. For me, Liverpool have won the Champions League in recent years. They're not too bothered. They wanted to win the Prem last year. They probably want to win it 2 times in a row. And for me, Manchester City, 2nd. And as I said there, 1st place, Liverpool. Honestly, like, their team is unplayable. Sadio Mane, Firmino and Salah, it's just unplayable. Van Dijk at the back, the best defender in the world. One of the best defenders we've ever seen, right? Alisson in goal. Trent, Robertson, you can go on. Obviously, losing Wijnaldum, which could be happening, is a big loss. But obviously, if they sign Thiago, even better. But it will be a tough season. Originally, I had Man City 1st, Chelsea 2nd, and Liverpool 3rd. It's just that's what I've went for. Liverpool 1st position in the Premier League. Right then, lads, that's it in my Premier League prediction. See us all on this video in May. We'll be reacting to it. And let's see how many I got right and whatnot. You can't really say at the minute with signings waiting and whatnot. You've just got to wait and see what happens with obviously managers getting sacked and whatnot when fans can go back to the stadium to really change the Premier League. We'll have to see what happens, but make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your predictions in the comment section down below. Do you agree, disagree with mine? Where would you change some of my positions? What I've put. But anyways, lads, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you all in the next one.